I'm begging you to break my heart. I can still picture the scene. A late fall afternoon, southern light slanting through the tall windows onto the wooden desks of our fifth grade classroom. Our teacher sitting primly in her straight-back chair, legs crossed at the ankles, a worn copy of Where the Red Fern Grows in her hands. Not one of us knew what we were in for. She taught fifth grade for 25 years. I don't remember a wording, but surely she knew what was about to happen. By the time she read the last page, there wasn't a dry eye in the classroom. Girls sobbed, some of us to the point that we couldn't catch our breath. Others sat with tears quietly trickling down their faces. At the sink, I grabbed crunchy brown paper towels to wipe my eyes. A friend joined me, hand proffered, and I gave him one. "Thanks," he said. "It's not the book or anything. My allergies are really bad this year." "Sure they are, John." By age 10, I'd already read hundreds, if not thousands, of books. But that was the first time a book provoked a visceral, gut-wrenching, puddle-of-tears reaction. Before that day, I didn't know a book could do that to a person. I didn't know I could care so much about events that happened on the page. I didn't know an author could convince me, if only for a moment, that what happened there was real. The best books move you, drawing out the full range of emotions from the reader, and sometimes that includes breaking your heart. Not every reader enjoys this experience. Some adult readers claim they were scarred for life by their own grade school experience reading tearful classics like Where the Red Fern Grows, Old Yeller, or Bridge to Terabithia. But we still admire, albeit sometimes grudgingly, what an author accomplishes when he or she makes us cry. Sometimes you know the tears are coming. The sad parts aren't going to blindside you. You know going in to expect a tearjerker. The Fault in Our Stars, Me Before You, and, unless you're an innocent fifth grader who doesn't yet know the scoop, Where the Red Fern Grows. You pick up these notoriously gut-wrenching titles only if you're not opposed to a good cry. Maybe you even welcome one. These are such reliable heartbreakers that if you don't cry, you might worry about yourself. Do I really have a heart? Sometimes a moment resonates specifically with you, personally, in a way that wouldn't send another reader running for the Kleenex because it touches on something you've experienced in your own life. When our 12-year-old chocolate lab died, I found a copy of Dog Heaven, gathered all the kids on the couch, and we cried our way through it together. The book spoke to where we were, capturing the truth of our experience, validating our loss. Sometimes the tears surprise you. I finished listening to A Man Called Uva on audio while getting ready for church on a Sunday morning. I had so little idea what was coming that I swiped on mascara while listening to the book's final minutes, unafraid. But Frederick Bachman made me laugh and then sob, almost simultaneously, with the inky wand still in hand. I had to wash my product-streaked, tear-stained face and start over. We were late for church that day. Sometimes a great book makes us feel the loss of what could have been, a dream, a baby, a future. Several years ago, I read Doris Kearns Goodwin's excellent Abraham Lincoln biography, Team of Rivals. I knew the basic outline of his life from history class. American students know that story's sad ending. But Goodwin's version astonished me, making me feel, for the first time, an overwhelming sense of how much was lost that night at Ford's Theater. By his family, yes, but also by the nation and the world. Goodwin demonstrates how important Lincoln was to the cause of what was right, painting a vivid picture of what he accomplished in office, of what he was carefully working toward after the Civil War, and of why the man himself was desperately needed. And then they killed him. When she described what happened that awful night in Ford's Theater and across the city, I felt like I was there, and for the first time, I understood the scope of the disaster and how it affects me even now. I didn't expect her history to make me weep, but it did, because Goodwin made me feel its weight. Sometimes a book prods you to grieve with its characters. You're immersed in the story, so much so that you feel what they are feeling. When a beloved character experiences loss, of someone they love, of a friendship, of their innocence, you feel their pain. When he grieves, you grieve with him. Sometimes you grieve the characters themselves. They die, you feel like you've lost a friend, and you weep. Sometimes a book brings the tears because you don't want it to end. You've been on a journey together, you and your fictional friends, and you don't want to close that literal chapter of your life and move on. When my daughter read Holly Goldberg Sloane's novel, Short, she cried so hard she scared me a little. The novel is about an unlikely band of people who experience something exceptional together, and when their time together ends, the book ends too. When I asked if they were happy tears or sad tears, she told me through sobs that they were good tears. She was just so sorry it was over. I don't relish crying over a book, but I'll say this. It's not easy to earn a reader's tears, and if an author writes well enough to earn mine, I'm in. Pass the tissues. It's time to read.